Choice is the ultimate tool of the jailer. The moment you believe you are making a free decision is the moment you become most predictable. Here is the brutal truth. You do not have a personality. You have a series of defense mechanisms designed to protect a core that is currently hollow, fragile, and desperate for validation. You move through the world believing you are a protagonist, yet you live like a background character in someone else's empire. You are tired of the noise. You are tired of being the one who listens, the one who waits, and the one who is ultimately ignored when the spoils of power are distributed. You have been told that being good is your greatest asset. That is the lie that keeps you in the dirt. Society rewards the moral because the moral are easy to govern. The sovereign, however, does not seek to be good. The sovereign seeks to be effective. This is not a game of self-improvement. This is a diagnostic of your capacity for dominance. What follows is not a test of what you like, but an exposure of what you are. The symbols presented to you are mirrors. Your instinctual reaction to them will reveal the exact location of your psychological chains. If you choose to look, understand that the change is irreversible. You cannot unsee the mechanism once the clockwork is exposed. Phase 1, the first mirror. The porcelain mask. Look at the mask. It is white, featureless, and frozen in a permanent, polite smile. Most people look at a mask and see a lie. They value authenticity. They believe that being yourself is the pinnacle of human existence. This is why they are weak. The moment you reveal your true face to the world, you provide your enemies with a map of your vulnerabilities. You show them where you bleed. You show them what you love. You show them exactly how to destroy you. If you were drawn to the mask, your true nature is that of the architect of perception. You understand, perhaps only subconsciously, that the world is not a stage of people, but a stage of ghosts. You realize that truth is a liability. Here is the paradox: the more honest a man is, the more he is controlled by those who are not. In the social hierarchy, there are those who react and those who represent. Most people react. If they are angry, they scream. If they are sad, they cry. If they are threatened, they lash out. They are animals governed by their biology. They are pawns. The sovereign uses the mask as a weapon of absolute silence. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of control. By wearing the mask, you become a blank slate upon which others project their own fears and desires. When you are silent, they will fill the void with their own insecurities. They will talk to cover their discomfort. They will reveal their secrets to win your favor. They will hand you the keys to their kingdom simply because you had the discipline to remain unreadable. This is not about lying. This is about curated reality. Think of the corporate boardroom, the high-stakes negotiation, or the social gathering of the elite. The person with the most power is never the loudest. The person with the most power is the one whose expression never changes. While others are leaking information through their eyes and their tone, the architect is gathering data. To choose the mask is to accept the law of concealment. You recognize that your inner life is a private sanctuary and your afterlife is a tactical deployment. You do not have friends, you have alliances. You do not have opinions, you have strategic positions. If this feels cold, it is because power is a cold climate. Those who seek the warmth of belonging will always be the fuel for the fires of those who lead. Phase 2, the second mirror. The coiled serpent. Look at the serpent. It does not move. It does not bark. It does not seek attention. It waits in the shadow, indistinguishable from the earth, until the exact moment the path is clear. If you chose the serpent, you are a creature of fluidity and timing. Most people live their lives in a state of constant, friction-heavy effort. They push against the world. They announce their intentions. They hustle and grind and make a great deal of noise about their ambitions. They are the prey that makes it easy for the predator to find them. The serpent understands the fundamental law of energy. The one who strikes once, perfectly, is more powerful than the one who strikes 1,000 times in vain. Here is where the world flips. Society tells you that you must be transparent and consistent. This is a trap designed to make you predictable. If you are consistent, you can be calculated. If you can be calculated, you can be defeated. The sovereign nature of the serpent is found in its lack of a rigid shape. Like water, it flows around obstacles. Like the shadow, it has no weight. This is the art of the invisible strike. Machiavelli noted that it is better to be feared than loved, but most people forget the context. The fear must be rooted in the unknown. If people know exactly why they fear you, they can find a way to circumvent that fear. But if they fear what you might do, if they cannot see where you start or where you end, they are paralyzed. The serpent nature is the nature of the strategist who understands that the shortest path to a goal is rarely a straight line. It is the use of the indirect approach. While the masses are fighting for the obvious prize, the serpent is moving toward the flank. While the fools are arguing over the throne, the serpent is poisoning the well. This is not evil, this is efficiency. Most people fail because they are too emotional to wait. They want the dopamine hit of the small victory now, rather than the total dominance of the final victory later. They are governed by their impulses. The serpent, however, has no pulse. It is the embodiment of the long game. If you chose this symbol, your frustration stems from your environment. You are surrounded by loud, impulsive children who mistake volume for authority. You are the child, you are the chart, because you are playing a game of chess against people who are trying to play tag. Stop playing their game. Withdraw. Become the ghost in the room. Let them forget you are there. The moment they stop accounting for you is the moment you have won. Power is not about being the biggest person in the room. It is about being the only person who knows what is actually happening. Phase 3, the third mirror. The iron gate. Look at the gate. It is heavy, forged in fire, and bolted from the inside. It does not invite, it excludes. If you chose the gate, your true nature is the power of exclusivity. We live in an age of pathological accessibility. Everyone is reachable. Everyone is connected. Your phone is a tether that allows any person on the planet to interrupt your thoughts at any time. You are expected to be available, to be likable, and to be part of the collective. The gatekeeper knows that accessibility is the death of value. Think of anything that is truly powerful in this world. Is it easy to reach? Is the gold in the street? Is the king's chamber open to the public? No. Value is created by the barrier. Most people feel invisible because they have no boundaries. They say yes because they are afraid of the no. They give their time to anyone who asks. They share their thoughts with anyone who listens. They have made themselves a common commodity, and then they wonder why they are treated with such little respect. The brutal truth is this: people do not value what they can easily obtain. If you are always there, your presence has no weight. If your opinion is always offered, it has no impact. If your time is free, it is worthless. The sovereign understands the law of scarcity. By closing the gate, you force the world to negotiate for entry. You stop being a resource and start being a destination. This is not about being lonely. This is about being sovereign. Isolation is the gymnasium of the elite. While the masses are distracting themselves with the trivialities of social media and petty drama, the gatekeeper is building an internal fortress. They are refining their mind, their body, and their purpose behind closed doors. There is a specific kind of fear that people feel when they encounter someone they cannot reach. It is the fear of the unknown. When you stop explaining yourself, when you stop being available, you create a vacuum, and in that vacuum, your power grows. You are currently frustrated because you have allowed too many unauthorized people into your mental and emotional space. You are carrying the weight of others' expectations, others' problems, and others' mediocre realities. The gate reveals that your path to dominance is not through addition, but through subtraction. You do not need more friends. You do not need more connections. You need a higher wall. You need to become the person who is hard to find. When you finally open the gate, it should be an event. It should be a privilege. Until then, stay behind the iron. Let the world wonder what you are building. Phase 4, the fourth mirror, the obsidian blade. Look at the blade. It is black, forged from volcanic glass, and possesses an edge that can divide a single hair. It does not exist to defend, it exists to excise. If you were drawn to the blade, your true nature is that of the surgical destroyer. Most people live in a state of perpetual clutter. They are weighed down by legacy relationships, outdated habits, and emotional debts they no longer owe. They cling to people who drain them because they fear the cruelty of walking away. They stay in dead-end environments because they confuse loyalty with survival. This is why they are stationary. Here is the brutal truth. Your potential is being suffocated by your inability to kill what no longer serves you. In the Machiavellian framework, the most dangerous weapon is not the sword that strikes 1,000 times, but the knife that cuts once and forever. The sovereign understands that growth is not an act of addition, but an act of relentless subtraction. To become the person you are meant to be, you must be willing to murder the person you currently are. Society calls this coldness. Reality calls it efficiency. Think of a social circle where one individual constantly subtle shames your ambitions. The good person, the pawn attempts to explain themselves. They try to make them understand. They seek validation from the very person holding them back. The blade does not explain. The blade does not argue. The blade simply severs. The moment you realize a connection is a net negative, you must have the psychological grit to remove them from your reality entirely. No final talk, no closure, just the sudden, absolute absence of your energy. This is the power of the void. When you disappear from someone's life without a footprint, you reclaim every ounce of power you ever gave them. This is not X. This is not being mean. This is Y. This is preserving your sovereignty. If you chose the blade, you are likely exhausted by your own empathy. You have been a fixer for people who have no intention of being fixed. You have been a bridge for people who only want to cross you. Your diagnostic is clear. You must stop viewing your kindness as a virtue. In the hands of a weak man, kindness is merely a lack of options. In the hands of a sovereign, kindness is a choice. And it is a choice you must stop making for the undeserving. Start cutting. Cut the friends who only call when they need something. Cut the habits that keep you sedated. Cut the belief that you owe the world an explanation for your success. Phase 5, the fifth mirror. The golden scales. Look at the scales. They are perfectly balanced, suspended in a vacuum where no wind can disturb them. They do not measure weight. They measure leverage. If you chose the scales, your true nature is the master of reciprocity. Most people view the world through the lens of fairness. They believe that if they work hard, they will be rewarded. They believe that if they are good, the world will treat them well. This is the most successful lie ever told by the ruling class to keep the working class compliant. The world is not fair. The world is a series of transactions. Here is where it flips. The person who cares the least about the outcome of a negotiation is the person who controls it. The scales reveal that every human interaction, whether it is a romantic relationship, a business deal, or a simple conversation, is a power struggle disguised as a connection. Most people fail because they enter these struggles with their hearts open and their hands empty. They offer value before they have established leverage. The sovereign understands that value is subjective, but leverage is absolute. If you are a hard worker in an office, you are an asset. But assets are replaceable. If you are the only person who knows how to fix a critical system that the CEO relies on, you are leverage. Assets are managed. Leverage is negotiated with. To choose the scales is to accept that you must stop being useful and start being essential. Consider a scenario where you are asked for a favor. The weak response is to say yes immediately to gain approval. The sovereign response is to pause, to weigh, to ask, what is the equilibrium of this exchange? If you chose this symbol, you are frustrated because you feel undervalued. You feel like you are doing more than everyone else but receiving less. This is because you have taught the world that your effort is a given. You have removed the price tag from your soul. It is time to rebalance the scales. Stop providing the extra mile for free. Start creating dependencies. When people realize that their comfort depends on your participation, they will find the respect they previously lacked. You do not need to demand respect. You simply need to make the alternative, your absence, unbearable. Phase 6. The sixth mirror, the empty throne. Look at the throne. It sits at the top of a mountain of glass. It is beautiful, it is cold, and it is entirely alone. If you chose the throne, your true nature is the architect of solitude. Most people are terrified of being alone. Their entire lives are a desperate flight from the silence of their own minds. They surround themselves with noise, with community, with belonging, because they have no internal structure. They are like vines. They need a trellis to stand. The sovereign is a pillar. Here is the paradox. To lead others, you must first be entirely independent of them. The throne represents the final stage of psychological evolution, the realization that you are the only person who will ever truly have your back. Most people find this thought depressing. The sovereign finds it liberating. When you no longer need the approval of the crowd loses its power over you. When you no longer fear the judgment of the morally superior, they lose their ability to shame you. The miserable people of the world. The audience this message is for often feel like they are on the outside looking in. They see the popular groups, the influential circles, and they feel a pang of exclusion. The throne reframes this. You are not excluded. You are uncontained. If you chose this symbol, you are ready to stop seeking a seat at someone else's table and start building your own empire. But there is a cost. The cost is the comfort of the pack. You can have power, or you can have the warm, fuzzy feeling of being one of the boys. You cannot have both. Power is a lonely peak. It requires you to make decisions that others will not understand. It re-separate yourself to a standard that would break a normal man. It requires you to become your own judge, your own jury, and your own God. Are you willing to pay the price of the silence? Most people fail here because they get to the top and then look back, hoping someone followed them. They want the crown, but they want someone to tell them they look good in it. This is a child king mentality. A true ruler does not look back. You have chosen your symbol. You have seen the mirror. Now go deeper. This was not a personality test. This was a calibration. The reason you have felt stuck, weak, or invisible is that you have been operating on a software of compliance. You have been trying to win a game of power using the rules of a game of submission. You have been told that your humanity, your vulnerability, and your emotional intelligence are your strengths. In the real world, the world of high-stakes influence and sovereign dominance, these are the handles by which people pull you. The mask taught you to stop being a target. The serpent taught you to stop being a pawn. The gate taught you to stop being a commodity. The blade taught you to stop being a host for parasites. The scales taught you to stop being a servant. The throne taught you to stop being a follower. If you understand this, everything changes. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are beginning to architect it. But here is the final brutal truth. Knowledge without execution is just a more sophisticated form of failure. Most people will watch this, feel a momentary surge of dark inspiration, and then go right back to their reactive, emotional, and weak lives. They will keep the same friends. They will keep the same habits. They will keep explaining themselves to people who don't matter. They will choose the comfort of the lie over the coldness of the truth. You, however, are different. The fact that you are still here, listening to a voice that does not comfort you, proves that the old version of you is already dying. You are starting to realize that the hierarchy is not something you are in. It is something you create. The world is a chessboard. Up until this moment, you have been focused on the pieces. Now, you are starting to see the hand that moves them. The person you were 30 minutes ago no longer exists. That person was someone who sought answers. You are now someone who has the tools. You are no longer part of the masses who drift through life like leaves in a storm. You are the wind. You are the architect. You are the one who watches while others talk. This is not a community. We do not support each other in the way the wheat do. This is a gathering of individuals who have decided to stop being prey. If you've accepted this shift, if you're willing to embrace the mask, the serpent, the gate, and the throne, then you must signal your alignment. Do not leave a thank you comment. Sovereigns do not thank, they acknowledge. Comment only the name of the symbol you chose. No explanation, no context, just a word. It is a signal to yourself and to the few others who understand. The hunt has begun. Subscribing to this channel is not an act of support. It is a contract with your own potential. It is a decision to keep the mirror in front of your face, even when it hurts to look. It is a commitment to the dark truth over the bright lie. If you are looking for motivation, go elsewhere. If you are looking for the keys to the kingdom, stay. The choice, as always, is yours. But remember, the moment you choose, you are revealed. Stay silent, stay disciplined, stay sovereign.